Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is Cam Ahlvers.
What up?
We're gonna ask some questions to him today. Thank you to Drew Rogers for letting us come into his super cool new studio that he is kind of working on right now. You can't see, it probably looks pretty good here, but there's stuff everywhere. He's like building it and putting it together. It's gonna be super cool. So we're gonna have to come back and do an interview with him here.
Just because I watched it recently for like the third time is the Netflix film, It's What's Inside. Probably the second Doctor Strange, like the whatever.
Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, that's the one.
I like the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
Second one was disappointing to me.
I won't watch it then.
The new Francis Ford Coppola film, what's it called? Oh my gosh, Megapolis. I think that way too many people hate it when they shouldn't. I think it's a great film, and my opinion on it is I think it's ahead of its time, and 20, 30 years from now, a lot more people will appreciate it. He just like broke so many film rules, and I respect that.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna have to go watch it then.
Nikon.
Wow.
I don't want to be seen with it, even though I don't think Nikons are bad. I think that they're great cameras. They shoot great photos and they do great things. I have so many friends that shoot Nikon. I just don't want to be around my friends with a Nikon. That's it. That's all. Even though I like it. Last thing I would pick would be like nuts.
Nuts.
Yeah, nuts.
So if you get to the craft table, it's just a ton of nuts.
Dude, if there's fruit snacks, that's what I'm going for.
Mm-hmm. That was the next question. You're the best thing you can find.
Oh, I love fruit
at
snacks.
Lunch. It's funny. Like we're making movies and like moving around heavy equipment, and then we all have like fruit snacks and peanut butter and jelly for lunch.
I recently watched this with some friends in Nashville last week. Requiem for a Dream. The score at the ending scene, like the whole reveal, is like mind-blowing score. It like makes you feel like the emotions are just heightened. It's crazy. I highly recommend just listening to the score of like the last scene of the movie. Don't watch it like that, just that scene, because you have to watch the whole thing, but it heightens the experience.
We're definitely gonna do that then. That's cool.
A stunt double would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'll risk my life for a paycheck.
I was gonna say, haven't they died?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so you want to do the crazy stuff?
Yeah.
I'm post. Like I'll stay in the office. I'm the opposite.
That would be fun.
Thanks for being here.
Dude, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, we really appreciate like all the filmmakers being willing to just jump in and try this,
It's so fun. I mean, you ask anyone to talk about themselves, they're like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember when we met, it was How to Make a Hot Dog. Is where we met. And I was just like, these guys are dope. But Josh had like so many great things to say, and I trust Josh too. And after like that shoot, I was like, these guys are so sick. And then getting to kind of work with you guys on the Hunted too, sound stuff, I was like, that like blew me away, what you guys turned that into. Cause like after editing that for so long and then, hearing nothing, like no good audio, like no score, no good audio, and like editing that forever. As soon as we saw like the end results of it, I was like, these guys are insane.
That's always what I think is like when the editor is just, thank you. Yeah, when the editor is just listening to like this like piece together sound thing, like that's gonna be hard to like watch a movie like that.
And looking at like raw footage, like no color.
Yeah.
Like I added, Rec 709, but still like not color graded, bad audio. It's like, man, this movie sucks.
No, it was a great.
Josh, it's a great movie.
No, it was a great cut, but that's how I'm impressed by you.
I think I did a good job. Like I'm not like I don't know. I need other people to tell me. I trust other people's judgment.
You did.
Well, thank you. Like after hearing I think what was hard for me, that was like I was probably the biggest like film I've edited, I would say. I filmed like documentaries, but as far as like narrative short films, after hearing the score and looking at the color and stuff, like I think that there's some things I would like, just like anything that I would have done differently, like just, slight adjustments and cuts, but I'm proud.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought you did a great job. I thought everybody did a good job. Yeah. Beautiful shots.
Dude.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Ben Harrell, It's the DP. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Josh did a good job directing too.
Yeah, definitely. So how often are you cutting films then? Because like when I think of you, I think director, right?
Yeah, yep.
So how does that feel to be, because Josh was in a different seat, right?
Yeah.
He's the director instead
Yeah.
of the DP, so I'm sure he's like thinking DP stuff.
Oh, for sure.
What was going through your mind as an editor? Were you thinking like an editor, or were you thinking like a director?
I was thinking like a director, and then it was half and half, because like whenever I direct things, I think like an editor, you know, because I know what it's like to edit pieces and I know what I want the end result to be. And so when I'm directing, I'm thinking of that, like me sitting at a computer and looking at the edit. And so I think it was helpful getting to like work closely with Josh on that film, because I was the assistant director as well. And getting to be a part of the whole process from pre-production to production, it helped a lot with post. And then getting to sit down with him. But like, yeah, getting the script like so far in advance, it definitely helped a lot in working on the shot list. So it was like, I knew, you know, it wasn't like, I would be a lot more stressed and freaking out if it was like a film that I was just handed and I wasn't a part of the production or the pre-production, and I'd be like, oh gosh, I don't know what kind of style they're wanting, or like they would have to like pitch all of that to me and show me what they're wanting. But I think it helped getting to see like the vision that Josh had, and then like, okay, this is the direction he's wanting to go.
Yeah, I think it's super important for an editor to be on set if they can be.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody in post
Yeah.
could, and unless there's a reason they shouldn't,
Yeah.
could be on set and just get in the mind of these people and start
Yeah.
thinking in advance. And so you were the assistant director on that.
Yep.
You cut it.
Yeah.
You direct
Yes,
things.
direct
You're a first
things.
AC sometimes.
Yeah,
You
so
you do a lot of different
I bounce
things.
around, but I prefer, and I think I'm best at directing and editing. Like those are my two. I love the storytelling side of things and writing and communicating like the vision of a bigger picture and stuff like that. The editing, I like editing certain things. I have to be excited about it, and I think I'm learning. Like I don't have an exact answer, but like I'm trying to figure out like what kind of editing do I like doing? Because there's you know, like video editing is just like any other role in the film industry. It's where, you know, you might be a director of like only music videos and that's what you like, that's your bread and butter. Or you like directing only documentaries. And I think that like, while I'm learning my favorite things in directing, I'm also learning like the things that I like to edit and I don't like to edit.
Yeah, I totally get that. When I first started, I wouldn't have understood that. I would have thought,
Yeah.
I want to do you know,
Yeah.
like, I want to try all of it. Like,
I was the
of
same
course I want to
way.
do a music video today and a movie tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, so I do editing at Joyce Meyer,
Yeah.
video editing.
Yep.
And I kind of started learning the same thing. I thought I wanted to do these big mission trip pieces and
Yeah.
like documentary style stuff, and I enjoyed it, but then I found like searching through all this B-roll
Yeah.
and having to build a story from maybe good stuff, maybe bad stuff. You never know what you're gonna get.
Right.
Like I learned as a video editor, that's not really what I like. It
Yeah.
takes me out of it. When we do these like product videos, right? Like Joyce writes a book, we have to sell it. I really like I liked editing those because the vision is so clear.
Yeah.
And the end product is supposed to look like blank. Here it is.
Yeah.
We want this from you.
Yep.
I found more joy in editing with like confidence
Yeah.
for video. Obviously that's not my bread and butter, as audio is anyway. So maybe that's why.
For sure.
But what about you? How do you?
I really like editing things that I'm also passionate about or like I feel a part of. But like things like, you know, short films and music videos and like really fun commercials that I was excited to be a part of, those kind of things that I feel a part of it in a bigger way, I get more excited to edit overall. But if it's just like, hey, we need you to edit this footage that you shot like a year ago from the previous commercial you made. Can you take that and make a new commercial? And I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
Like I have to edit the same footage basically and make something new a year later. And it's fun. I'm not complaining because work is work and I get paid and I can feed my family. you
Right.
know? I'm very grateful. But even though I'm grateful, it's still fun learning what you like and what you don't like. I grew up in Collinsville, Illinois, right across from St. Louis. And my dad started a video photo company when I was about like 3 years old, 3 or 4. And I didn't really have any interest in any of that. You know, I thought like at one point I wanted to be like a game designer and code and stuff like that. And, you know, and then thought I wanted to do this and that. And it was really when I was like 17, 18 years old, me and a couple buddies of mine, we wanted to make like some dumb videos, like just comedy, like just be dumb. So I asked my dad if I could borrow a camera. That's like where I got hooked. I started taking it more seriously and just hanging out with friends that were like-minded in that world. And then, but I was also really heavily involved in ministry at a church in O'Fallon, Illinois. And so then I was like, doing that, and I basically like put video, photo, anything creative to the side a little bit, because I became a youth pastor at a church for 3 or 4 years. And so while I was doing that, like I still made videos for the church and like graphic design, and I had my creative outlets within it, but didn't like have outside work doing stuff like that. Right after I had resigned, my wife and I started a wedding company, like photo video. She did photo, I did video. And like went full time like within like a few months. It was crazy. Like we got a lot of work. We got lucky. I have no idea how we did it. It was all her, honestly. Michaela like is crazy talented how fast she picks things up. But after doing that, like that was her like kind of like dream to do weddings and stuff like that. I didn't really care for it. So like I got to shoot a lot of video, but I didn't really like doing weddings. It's not something I'm passionate about, but she's passionate about other people's weddings. So, so like while we were in that season, you know, it provided for our family. We were able to buy a house, doing weddings and stuff like that. But I just knew that I wanted to be more involved in like the commercial space in filmmaking and get into, I actually wanted to be a DP. That was like what I thought I wanted to do. And so in 2020, we were still doing weddings. We bought our house, and then that was the year that I decided that, you know what, rather than like working on all these sets and crews and stuff like that, like I'll just start my own production company. Like, why not? What's the worst that could happen? It doesn't work, you know, I do something else, find a job somewhere. And so in 2020 fall, I started Shft. Agency was the name of it, and it was a full service creative agency, and we did marketing and stuff like that. So we were doing like graphic design, logos, branding, and marketing, and video and photo, and all these different things for local businesses. And it was me and a couple of buddies that started it. One of them moved to LA, and then one of them got a job somewhere else. So then it was just me, and I was like, well, I kind of like sat back and was just like, well, I don't really like doing the marketing things, and I'm like not passionate about branding and graphic design. And I was like, I really just care about making videos. And that's when I wanted to like, I thought I wanted to be a DP. And so like I switched Shft Agency to Shft Studios to fit just the name more so that people understood it was like it was a studio. And so then got more passionate about like shooting videos and stuff like that, but then quickly realized that I didn't really care for the shooting part. Like to be a DP, you have to be so knowledgeable about so many things at all times, and the newest things and what cameras are capable of, and lighting, and telling different departments different things. You have to be like knowledgeable of the how, to where I felt my strength was in the why. Like to be a director, like you have to know the why and to tell stories, and that's what I love. I'm a very emotional person. I cry at movies, I cry in shows, I cry over like the craziest things. And so like I feel things, you know, whether it's like a song on the radio that like I just start bawling driving down the road or whatever. I feel things, and so I love the storytelling side and the whys. And I didn't care how it was done. And that's what a DP cares about. And so then I just kind of switched. And I think that's why I like editing too, and found passion in that. Starting the studio was like the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm really like proud and excited for the future. And yeah, it's been crazy, like 4 years. It's crazy that it's been 4 years since I started it.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Thanks for sharing your story. We really appreciate that. Yeah, it sounds like we have like some similar things and some different things. It's so cool to hear the different stories from like filmmakers in the Midwest, because a lot of us have, you know, like get our first touches into it with church type stuff. It's like our first time with like the more expensive cameras and toys, and we start to learn what we like and what we don't like. And I think that's really good that you've kind of started to figure out like your niche, and you learned who you are and why you're a director. Like, I think that's what a lot of people need to do, is like sit down and like think about who you are and what position you should do. And you know, because I meet so many people that try a little bit of everything. So you have directed plenty of different things. I saw you're working with the band Feel right now. Is that still going on?
Yeah, it's still going on. I was just in Nashville with them last week while they were recording. So they were recording for like a week, and now they're down there for like the mixing and mastering, but I was able to like document them. So I'm putting together like a little like documentary piece on just the recording process and like how they do it, because it's really fascinating. I mean, the band's maybe one of the like most talented bands ever. Like, they're insane. Like, if you get a chance to see them live, do it, because you won't be disappointed. They're insanely talented. And they do things differently. Obviously they're like, you know, throwback like 70s, 60s, you know, band or whatever, but they're crazy.
Yeah, I've listened to some of their music online. It's super cool. I love to see them if they're, you know, back in town working on stuff. But so you're doing like music videos and documenting their journey and everything. So you're thinking like a director working with them. Right?
Yes, very
Are
much
you
so.
shooting for them as well and editing, like the whole 9 yards?
Yeah, it's a mix, because their schedules are crazy. I kind of have to run and gun and figure it out as we go. The lead singer lives in Sacramento, so he's Cali, and then the bass player lives in Evansville, Indiana. And then they're like, it's crazy, but they get together, they make it happen, they go on tours, you know. And then drummer TJ lives in St. Peters, and then Tyler, the guitar player, lives in Alton. And getting them all together for shoots can be hard, but we just have to like coordinate and align with schedules and stuff like that. But we have some things coming up with their new releases. The Goodbye Virginia music video was just really Josh and I. Like, I directed it, he DP'd it, we had some hands and help. And, you know, my younger brother shot BTS for us, but it was really just us two and using natural light. And then we lit like 2 scenes in that. And then the other video for In the Garden, that was just me with my FX3. I just went out and it was just me, like telling the band what to do and just shooting. I edited both of them. I'm excited for all the new stuff that we got planned, like new music videos and things like that. It's gonna be fun.
Awesome. I wouldn't have guessed that, because they look so good.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen them both, and like really cool stuff. Yeah. So when you're working with them as a director, because I haven't. We're musicians, of course, and we've done plenty with music, but I haven't really been on that side with another band, right? Like, do you feel like you're directing, like creating a world for them that they have to like, it has like a canon, right? Like, this would fit with this song, this, like whenever they write a song or finish something, you have to like fit it into their world visually, or do you just, is it a playground that you start fresh every time?
It's a playground. With them, it's different than any other relationship, because we're best friends. Like, Tyler, the guitar player, and I are like really, really good friends. And it's been like a journey with them. Like, we're like brothers. And so whenever I first started doing stuff with the band, when they were starting out, I remember like one vivid memory. We were sitting down eating at Old Bakery in Alton, and they not only made me feel like I was in the band, but they like told me, like, you're a band member, you're in the band, like you're a part of the group, and we want you to have ownership in like what you're doing. And they made me feel that much more passionate about it, towards like, these are my brothers that I get to do life with, but they're also like creatives that respect creativity. And so they tell me every time, like if I pitch anything, they're just like, Cameron, whatever you want us to look like, whatever like you want to make, just make it. We don't care.
Yeah, they trust you.
They care, but they trust me. And so, and they'll throw me ideas and stuff, and it's a partnership. I've heard all of their songs years before they've been released, and so I have a lot of time to like sit on each one and like think of how I would, tell a story visually. And so with these next ones, like there was one music video I remember being in the studio, and I heard the final version of it for the first time, and like I closed my eyes, and immediately I like stood up and was like, I know the video we're gonna do. And I like thought of it, and we got a whole crew and we shot the video, and then their management told them that they had to re-record it.
Why?
There was a lot of reasons, and it ended up working out, but we had to scratch the music video, but it was sick, and it was a 1 or 2. So like we did like 8 takes, and it was all one thing on like a gimbal rig, like 1 take music video. And it took some like choreography and stuff like that. So we had to like really plan this one out. And then for that to be like scratched was like the biggest bummer.
I hate it when that happens.
But yeah, like I just pitched them that idea like right on the spot in the studio after I heard the song. They're like, cool, let's do it. I was like, sweet. So
yeah, that's just how it goes in this industry sometimes. You can't get too attached, I guess, to everything.
Yeah.
But how do you come back from stuff like that? Like, does that get you down whenever an idea doesn't work as a director, editor, or anything? Or how do you? Yes
and no. Like would I have preferred for that video to come out and for everyone to see it? Yes. But if I could probably find the text that I texted Tyler, but it was along the lines whenever he told me, he's like, I'm so sorry, I feel terrible. And I told him, like, dude, like, don't beat yourself up. Like, it's fine. Like, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it happen. And, I'm sure it's for a reason. There's so many things that aren't in your control. And that was one of them it wasn't in my control. And so, there's nothing that I can do about it. So why beat yourself up?
Yeah.
Like I can't say or do anything to change what happened. It is what it is.
Yeah, just try to kill it on the next one. Keep
Exactly.
coming up with ideas, learn from it. Yeah.
It motivates me to just keep doing better, and then maybe even like save that idea for something else that maybe like down the line, down the road or whatever, like say 3 years from now, they come out with a song that I'm like, you know what, that idea actually works even better for that song. And then it all works out, so.
Yeah, I really don't mind when that happens, because then I get to take the idea, put it in my pocket, and like bring it out. It's already ready and thought of for the next thing that it might work with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you have like a band or a music video that's like, like the music, like your favorite,
my
like,
favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone, all of my friends know this. My favorite band is Colony House, actually.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I know like, what's that song I know by them? It's like when the lights go on.
Oh yeah, Silhouettes.
Silhouettes. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, that's a great song. No, I love Colony House. I just have like, not history with them like personally, but their first album was like during a really pivotal like time of my life. It was just like, it helped me through some pretty like dark times. And so they've just always like, it's always stuck with me that I'm like, I've seen them 10 times live, and the 10th time that I saw them was their 10-year anniversary show. So it was like, it was cool. I love that band and the guys. They're like one of those bands that you're like, they're insanely good musicians, but you're also like, those guys are cool. Like I feel like I could be friends with them,
Of the many projects I've seen from you online, I saw a lot of work with SE Electronics. Of course, we're going to ask about that.
Yeah.
We're an audio company, and that's one of my favorite
I love
mic brands, dude. They make amazing microphones for great prices.
Yeah.
I love, like, I've actually used their mics for tons of different things. Like,
really?
When I was working at churches, all our drums were mic'd up with their stuff.
Oh yeah, they have great drum mics.
Great drum mics.
As a drummer, their mics, nice.
That's right, you would know.
Yeah.
Like I have my eye on the 4400 from them for like
Yeah.
some studio voiceover stuff.
Yep.
I've always had their little pencil mics just for everything. I mean,
Yeah.
they're a great company.
Yeah.
And I think they're underrated. I don't think as many people use them as should.
And they're affordable too for what they are. Like they're a lot cheaper than, you know, some of the really big name brands. They're quality mics. Like I have 4 of the like Dynacasters. It's like the podcast mics. They have the built-in, like, you know, if you get like a Shure like SM7B or whatever, you have to have a, what's it called? The
Cloud lifter. To
cloud
like
lifter.
pop it up a little
and
bit.
And the Dynacaster has it built into it.
Nice.
And so it's like the Shure SM7B, but it has that built into it, and they're so nice. They sound great. They sound so good.
Is that what you used in your Shft podcast that I saw?
Yep.
Yeah, and that sounded
Yeah.
good. So I was
Yeah.
like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I really love SE. What was it like working for them? Like for a company that's kind of knows film, probably?
Yeah,
What is it
yeah.
like filming for a company that does that stuff?
Well, so I'll be 100% honest and say that they paid us in microphones, and like it was
not bad.
something like we reached out to so many people in the early stages, and especially when we were wanting to do bigger like film productions and commercials and ads and stuff like that. We were just reaching out to brands and just seeing if they had a budget, and we just wanted like portfolio work at this moment, and so. We did work for, I think it was like 2 music companies, audio companies reached back out to us. One was Cali Audio, and then SE Electronics. And Cali said like, hey, we don't have a budget, but we'll send you like some speakers and stuff. And like really nice speakers. And I was like, well, those are like $800 speakers, I'll take. And then SE said like, yeah, we'll send you like a bunch of microphones and stuff like that. Like, just tell us what you want. Free microphones, free speakers, but then also I'm like, if they really like this and are impressed by it, like maybe I can win them over. And they were like super nice to work with. Like they loved everything like that we did and stuff like that. But I really like the music scene. Like, as you know, I love music stuff. So I really wanted to get into like filming commercials for the music industry, like those products and stuff like that. Because, you know, you look at the film industry and like companies like Small Rig or Tilta or Aperture or, you know, like all these film companies, it's like, well, they have there's a filmmaker like dime a dozen that makes content for those people. And when you're a filmmaking company, you have so many filmmakers making reviews and stuff about your things, but there isn't as many people in the like music scene that are, you know, like you look at the content from some of these like, you know, microphone companies or pedal companies and stuff like that, like cymbal brands, and they don't have as many people, you know, making that kind of stuff. And so that was kind of my thought behind it, is like, I love music, I love making commercials, and so let's make some for music brands.
Yeah, that's a super good idea.
Yeah.
Getting paid microphones.
Yeah.
That to us, that sounds like just getting paid, because
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
that's what we buy.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'm gonna buy speakers anyway, buy microphones anyway.
Right. Yeah. Both those companies are like really good companies to get those things from too, not just anything.
And they were both like so easy to work with too, and great people. So, great company.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. What other projects do you have right now that are worth mentioning here?
A couple of them are, you know, NDAs, so can't share. But there is a lot of like cool things that I'm excited about. A couple of bids that I've put out. Some are like big international brands, and then there's one that is actually like a St. Louis local like chain brand that would be really cool if I won it. So I feel like right now I'm in the process of like editing a lot and then pitching for like spring shooting and stuff like that. So it's just a matter of like, if my ideas are better than other production companies, really is what it comes down to.
That's the game.
It's like there's probably, you know, 3 to 5 production companies pitching at the same time on these RFPs. And so I'm just hoping that mine are better.
I'm sure they will be. You've had
Yeah.
great ideas so far.
Oh, thanks.
So what does like 5-10 years goal look like for you as you start to funnel things in more and work on like passion
Yeah.
projects? What would you like to be working on?
I would just love to be working on like bigger things for longer periods of time. And I think that in the past, like I've had moments to where I'm working on so many different things and I'm doing a bunch of different things. Like with a small team, you kind of have to wear multiple hats. I would love to get out of editing completely, if I'm being honest. Like I would love to just stick to directing and focus all my time on the pre-production and the production side of things, because you know, when you're wearing so many different hats, your mind goes to different places. Like, you know, 1 second I'm editing, then the next I'm shooting, and then I'm doing this, and I have a meeting with this person. And it's like, you're all over the place doing so many different things, especially when you have like, you know, 5 projects at once or 10 projects at once. But, you know, the bigger commercial stuff that pays more, that I can devote like a month or 2 of my time and just focus on like that particular thing. I think that would be awesome. Like if I was able to do, you know, 6 to 8 big commercials a year, I would be happy. That's my goal.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We're similar. You know, we want to get to the point where we're like able to be more picky and just, you know, get a few a year.
Yep.
And really go hard on those and
Yeah.
make them close to our past projects. But right now we're happy to get into anything that sounds cool, something we can be a part of, something we can get behind.
Quality over quantity is what I want to get into.
Do you like working in the Midwest on all this stuff? Like has that been like beneficial to you, or do you ever wish you were in New York, LA? Like do you think that'd be easier, harder?
Kids was the biggest thing for me. I feel like if I didn't have kids, I would have moved somewhere else, like Nashville, or probably not LA, but like Atlanta, Nashville, Texas, maybe, I don't know, Florida, who knows where I would have gone. Nashville was like probably the one. All my family's around here, and my siblings and their kids, and I want my kids to be around their cousins and their grandparents and stuff like that. All that to say, I still actually really love the Midwest. I know a lot of people from the Midwest dog on it, don't like it, and I joke about it too, but I like being a part of things that aren't fully perfect. Like, you know, I live in a small town in Illinois. I'm right across from St. Louis, but I live in Alton, Illinois. It's a small town. I like being a part of things that you can like help and, you know, start things and be on the ground level and like build it with people. Because you go to Nashville to be a musician and make it, I think is a lot harder in one sense, because there's a whole sea of like, you look at anyone and they're doing the same thing that you're going after. Same with like LA back in the day. I knew friends that moved out there for filmmaking, and yeah, you get work and you're plugged in with the right people because you're, you know, surrounded by like-minded people, but everyone's also doing that. I really like being a part of, you know, the Midwest just because it's like 10 years behind everywhere else. You
Sometimes
know?
it's
so
cool,
like,
yeah.
I like that, and I want to see the Midwest grow.
That's what we were excited about. Is like we don't know a lot of other film audio specific companies here. And it's like, let's do it. Let's make, you know, there's creative people here.
We need more people doing that, because I think that there's so many like cities and towns, like for instance, Springfield, Missouri has some of the best production companies and editors in the world. Like directors, I follow so many insane directors that are from and live in Springfield, Missouri.
Huh.
But
I know there's the school out there.
They get to travel, like they still travel and direct things and do stuff, but like, dude, Lock and Stash, insane film production company. Oh, yeah. Like they're so good. If they end up seeing, like I want to go hang out with those guys. They're so talented. And then there's a couple directors that are just so talented, but you wouldn't think that in Springfield, Missouri, right? And I want people to think the same way for the St. Louis area. Like,
it's possible.
But it takes people to do it. And if people are moving out of it, then it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it just takes people like us
Yes,
to
exactly.
get it started.
Yes.
That's cool. We'll have to widen our where we're looking when
Yeah.
we're doing interviews, and have to look down there. I guess there's like Mo State, that's Springfield, Missouri, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
yep.
I had a couple friends that went to film school there.
Okay.
Is that like a popular film school? Is that
I
why?
don't know. I honestly don't know. That's a good question though. My cousin went there, but not for film.
Okay. Huh. Well, but, you know,
Yeah.
Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Yeah,
take a track.
they have a, like, there's a page that's like, I think it's called like Springfield Creative, and it's like basically like a movement of like every video production company there, graphic designer, marketing companies, and they all like get together. It's pretty cool. But I've found like a lot of like film industry in that city, and that was inspiring to me, that it's like, you don't have to go to Atlanta, you don't have to go to LA, you don't have to go to these places that are where you need to be, is what people say. You can make anything happen where you're at. I always tell people, like, you know, there's so many creators out there that you can make it. You can make a big business or make it as a creator and be successful anywhere in the world. Like, you think about your favorite YouTubers, how many of them live in like the middle of nowhere? And yet they're like millions of subscribers and stuff like that.
Right.
They live in a small town and they're just like you and me, but they didn't move to LA to make it big. They just did it where they were. And I think that that's inspiring to me. Like, I respect that a lot.
Yeah, that's super awesome. Like, we have the internet, use it.
Yeah.
You know, use it. And that's how, like, we work with a lot of people not from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have that opportunity if it weren't for,
Yeah.
you know, that we can work and do posts online and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, we have no excuse in
Yeah.
St. Louis. Like, we can be on productions here and then do posts for anybody anywhere. And yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. Speaking of opportunity and things here, are you able to talk about the rental company very much on here?
I can talk
You can
about
talk
it.
about, you
Yeah,
said
I can
ND,
talk about
I don't
it.
know
Yeah,
what, you know.
So Josh, who was, did you guys interview him first, or
We
Jordan
interviewed
first?
him second, but
so
we're
Jordan.
dropping him first.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, all right. So Josh and I, whenever we first met, I was working in the basement of a coffee shop called Post Commons in Alton, and that's where my office was. And we like sat down there and like talked for like hours, and that was like the first time we ever hung out. And I knew he had an Alexa Mini, and so I told him that I had a dream that like I wanted to start a rental company someday. I'm like, there's only like one or two in St. Louis. It's like, but if the film industry grows, they're gonna need more, because a lot of companies in LA are moving out of LA and looking for different places. So if that ever like, you know, keeps growing, they need rental companies. And so I'm like, I want to start one, find investors, figure it out, or just like buy as we go kind of thing. And we're just asking about his Alexa Mini because he rents it out and the profit margins and stuff like that. And so that was like the first introduction to him and I like talking about it. And then that just kind of always got brought up in conversation. And so about a little under a year ago, we were like, let's just do it. We'll just find, you know, people that own equipment, and we'll put them under like our website, and then they get, you know, rentals. They make money out of it. We make money. We'll do all the work for them, but they get like, you know, to make money for renting their gear out. So we started like messaging a bunch of people, and then we found basically the perfect business partner. So Josh, me, and then a guy named Chris, who we got in contact with when we were looking for gear. Basically, he found out like this dude is just a B&H store. Like, he has everything. And when we talked to him about like, hey, we'll rent your gear for you and you can make money. And he was like, I'll do you one better. I want in on the business, and I want to be an owner. And you know, we do it together and start a rental company. And so like, all right, Josh and I talked about it, and we're like, let's do it. And so then we just launched in January. It's called Village Cine Rentals. And yeah, our goal is not to be competition to anyone in St. Louis. Like, we're not trying to compete with Bad Dog or Horizon, because like Horizon has some like crazy specialty cinema lenses and stuff like that. And Bad Dog does a lot of like grip and, you know, like genie stuff. And we're not looking to get into that. We just want like cameras and lenses. And I think what makes us a little bit different is like we want to ship things. And so like we want the process to be seamless for people to go on the website, order it, we ship it to them, they ship it back kind of thing, but also having like a local pickup option. And then the other thing is like also having the equipment and gear for, you know, people just getting started. So like we have like beginner entry level equipment that's like cheap to and affordable. Like if you're a college student and you want, you know, a nice quality camera, but you don't have money, you can rent like, you know, a camera and a lens for like 25, 50 bucks for the day. Nice. Or whatever. And like we want to like support like content creators that, you know, want to try something out or things like that. Cause I think that this isn't just St. Louis, I think this is everywhere, but most like cinema rental companies, they're just focused on like big productions, which is awesome. And like bigger equipment like the Alexas. And we want to like cater to both, to where we have, you know, Arri cameras, but we also have like Nikons. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that's super cool. I remember scrolling through your website at the beginning and being like, okay, there's like manageable stuff in here for someone like me that's audio, but I need a video camera for the day. And it's not just only Reds and Alexas. Yeah. Because like, sometimes I just do need like right now we're shooting on a Blackmagic 6K that we rented because we needed a second angle. Yeah. And it's not gonna blow the budget and it's perfect. So, but like, I just don't know, if a bigger one would have that camera, if they're just gonna have the bigger gear that would be too much for us for like a one-day interview shoot. So really appreciate that. I saw some other cameras on there, like just a bunch of different Sonys and stuff, and I was like, if I ever like kind of looking around at different cameras, maybe getting out of the Blackmagic thing, and I was like, well, I might rent a camera, rent a lens from you to try it for a day. You know,
you should just. Or come by the studio. You still haven't been in the office yet.
Yeah, I need to.
We got a bunch of gear there you can come mess with anytime. Literally anytime. Cool. You can come over and
I'm gonna take you up on it then.
Do it, seriously. I need better audio equipment too. Like I need more stuff, but like I'm also not the guy that wants to do it. It's like I would rather hire you guys to just do it.
That's where I am with the camera stuff. I'm like starting to get tired of that. I'm like, I'm not this guy, you know?
You're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. You know that meme?
Yes. That's how I feel sometimes when I'm like setting all this up. I'm like, what am I doing? I just need to stick to the audio stuff. But you know, that's one of my favorite things coming from music. Like I was just a musician growing up, and then I learned my love for film and how audio fits into film, right? And I was like, it takes a team. It's not like like at home in our home studio, I can record an entire album alone. Yeah. But you could, but like most movies, it's like you got to have a team, and it taught me collaboration, and it taught me the importance of like different people's ideas and stuff. And that's what we love about film. So
dude, I agree. I love working with people. I just love people. I like getting to know people's stories and work alongside them and see their strengths. And like I think that, you know, if there's any impact that I could make or like value is like, I just want to put people in the best spots they can be. Like, I want them to just thrive in whatever area that is and help them. Because like a director's supposed to lead others and you know, cast vision and stuff like that. I want to help people get to where they're wanting to go. You know, awesome. I think that's like, you know, we were talking about like my goals for the next 5 years and like how I want bigger productions but fewer in a year. Like, I would love to get like big productions and then hire people that have like never done that in one sense. Like I need experienced people that I trust, but like, you know, like bring people up with you. Yeah. Like, I think that's like a lot of me and my friends like mantra is like high tides raises all ships, right? Is that, yeah, that sounds good. And so like, you know, we were talking about feel earlier, like they win, friends win. Like anytime you win, your friends win. And that's what I love is, you know, if I win and can bring people along, then it's worth it because it just makes life better when you can help each other.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think that's a super cool way to end it.
Yeah.
So hey, thanks for coming on. We
Dude,
appreciate
thank
it.
you, man. I appreciate
It's a lot of fun. We'll have to do it
This is
again.
fun.
We're talking about doing like Graham Norton style with like multiple
Yeah.
filmmakers that may or may not know each other type
See if
thing.
they like fight. Let's just do like
yeah,
Super
right.
Smash Bro
You get a
competition.
spoon, you get a fork, you get a knife. We'll see what.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, just some different types of conversations on here. But yeah, thanks for being one of the first ones.
Oh, dude,
We're
I'm
kinda-
happy to.
We're trying it out.
This is fun.
We're learning, and yeah,
That's good.
awesome. Well, thanks so much. Until next time. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate people coming in through the page. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let's like boost these creators and filmmakers up because they're making the Midwest awesome with the work that they're doing. We're Gaussian Sound Co. I'm Devin. I'm one of the engineers and co-founders here. We're based out of St. Louis. We're a small business, but we do a lot of big work. We do location sound and we do post. We're musicians, so we can score your film. We can do custom sound design, custom sound effects, and then we mix and master as well for all sorts of different mediums. So if you like what you're seeing, go check out our page, see some of the other work we've done, and maybe we can work with you on something you've got coming up. No matter how big or how small, we want to do it. So, and everyone, this is our wonderful camera operator, Isabella. She also does the BTS photos, and she's also just like the best, and she helps with a lot of things.